Big news shaking the British royals today. Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor, the younger brother of King Charles, has been arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office. Yes, you heard that right. This is huge, because in the UK, this kind of charge can carry a life sentence. And for a member of the royal family, this is practically unheard of. And here's the twist. It all unfolded on his birthday. Definitely not the kind of celebration he had in mind. The arrest follows weeks of new revelations about Andrew's ties to the disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein.
You've been on his private plane.
Yes.
You've been to stay on his private island.
Yes.
You've stayed at his home in Palm Beach.
Yes.
Earlier this month, Thames Valley Police confirmed they were investigating claims that back in 2010, when Andrew was serving as a UK trade envoy, he may have shared confidential documents with Epstein. One of the emails recently released in the US even seems to show him forwarding a report from his special advisor about a trip to Southeast Asia directly to Epstein. Now, this is a big deal. It's the first time in centuries that a royal has been arrested, and it puts Andrew right at the center of one of the most notorious scandals involving some of the world's wealthiest and most influential people.
But he had the most extraordinary ability to bring extraordinary people together.
Just last year, Andrew was stripped of his royal titles and now goes simply by Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor, a dramatic fall from grace that continues with this latest arrest. King Charles III responded to the shocking news with a statement expressing his deepest concern. He made it clear that, despite the family connection, the law must take its course. Here's what he said. I have learned with the deepest concern the news about Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor and suspicion of misconduct in public office. What now follows is the full, fair, and proper process by which this issue is investigated. The law must take its course. As this process continues, it would not be right for me to comment further on this matter. Meanwhile, my family and I will continue in our duty and service to you all. At the same time, officers were photographed arriving at Andrew's home at Sandringham, the Norfolk estate closely associated with the king. Police are investigating claims that Epstein arranged for a woman to be brought to the UK for inappropriate contact with Andrew, as well as allegations that he shared sensitive government information while serving as envoy. Andrew has denied all accusations. He insists he never saw or suspected any of the criminal behavior Epstein was involved in. But these latest allegations, this suspicion of misconduct in public office, take the scandal to a whole new level. At the heart of it, much of this drama stems from Virginia Roberts Giuffre's allegations that Epstein arranged for her to be sent to some of his powerful friends, including Andrew.
I have no recollection of ever meeting this lady.
In her posthumous memoir, Nobody's Girl, released in October 2025, Giuffre revisits her experiences with Epstein and describes Andrew as someone who saw their encounters as a privilege of status. She even admitted that seeing the 2010 photo of Andrew walking with Epstein in New York left her revolted, saying she was stunned that a royal would be seen so casually with a convicted offender.
He needs to be held accountable. We need to show the world that the rich and the mighty can fall too.
Now, Andrew did settle Giuffre's civil case back in 2022 without admitting wrongdoing, and he later insisted he vigorously denies all the accusations.
He knows what happened. I know what happened. And there's only one of us telling the truth, and I know that's me.
But recently released court documents revealed something that raised eyebrows again. Andrew apparently stayed in contact with Epstein longer than he'd previously claimed.
But I didn't have much time with him. I suppose I saw him once or twice a year, perhaps maybe maximum of 3 times a year.
Let's rewind to how this all began. Andrew says he met Epstein in 1999, introduced by their mutual friend, Ghislaine Maxwell.
Well, I met through his girlfriend back in 1999, and I'd known her since she was at university in the UK. And it would be, to some extent, a stretch to say that as it were, we were close friends. I mean, we were friends because of other people.
But according to his former private secretary, that meeting might have happened even earlier, in the early 1990s.
We know from a letter that Alistair Watson, his own private secretary wrote to the Times that actually they met in 1990. And Steve Hoffenberg, who was the business associate of Epstein, says it was 1991. So, I mean, it certainly wasn't 1999.
What we do know for sure is that flight logs show Andrew visited Epstein's private Caribbean island in February 1999. And that same year, Epstein and Maxwell were reportedly invited to Balmoral, the Queen's Scottish estate. It sounds unthinkable now, but there's even a photo confirming the visit. By 2000, Epstein was a regular in Andrew's circle. He was spotted at Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago club with Andrew and Melania Trump, later seen lunching with Maxwell and Andrew in New York, and even attended Andrew's 40th birthday party at Windsor Castle, hosted by the Queen herself. Andrew later tried to clarify that Epstein was just there as Maxwell's guest, but that's a little hard to buy, considering the trio were seen together at Royal Ascot that very same month. Then came 2001, the year Virginia Giuffre said she had been assaulted by Andrew at Maxwell's London home.
He wasn't mean or anything, but he got up and he said thanks and walked out, and I sat there in bed just horrified and ashamed. It was a wicked time in my life. It was a really scary time in my life. I had just been abused by a member of a royal family.
The prince has always denied it, famously claiming he couldn't have been there because he was at a Pizza Express in Woking that night.
Why would you remember that so specifically? Why would you remember a Pizza Express birthday and being at home?
Because going to Pizza Express in Woking is an unusual thing for me to do.
Unusual, indeed. It's not often a royal swaps the palace for Pizza Express. Despite the growing scandal around Epstein, he was still a guest at Princess Beatrice's 18th birthday in 2006, just days before his arrest in Florida.
Why would you do that?
Because I was asking Ghislaine. But even so, at the time, I don't think certainly I wasn't aware when the invitation was issued what was going on in the United States.
In 2008, Epstein pleaded guilty to exploiting a person who had not yet reached adulthood and spent 13 months in jail. Andrew claimed that's when he cut off contact. But then came 2010 and the infamous Central Park photos. Andrew was visiting Epstein in New York, reportedly staying at his townhouse, and the two were spotted walking together. The pictures caused a media firestorm. When confronted about it, Andrew said he went to New York only to end their friendship face-to-face.
Now, I went there with the sole purpose of saying to him that because he had been convicted, it was inappropriate for us to be seen together.
But that explanation didn't convince many.
You said you went to break up the relationship, and yet you stayed at that New York mansion several days. I'm wondering how long.
But I was doing a number of other things while I was there.
But you were staying at the house of
Yes.
a convicted sex offender.
It was a convenient place to stay.
To make matters worse, journalist Katie Couric later wrote that Epstein had actually thrown a dinner party that week to celebrate his release from jail, with Andrew reportedly the guest of honor.
Well, I was there, so there was a dinner. I don't think it was quite as you might put it, but yeah, okay, I was there at a dinner, yeah.
A farewell dinner, either an odd goodbye or a sign they were still friends. Those Central Park photos became impossible to shake off, especially after Epstein's arrest in 2019 on new trafficking charges, and his death that same summer. That's when Andrew did the infamous Newsnight interview to clear his name, but it backfired, sparking instant public backlash.
She described dancing with you
No.
and you profusely sweating, and that she went on to have a bath, possibly.
There's a slight problem with the sweating because I have a peculiar medical condition, which is that I don't sweat.
Within days, Andrew announced he was stepping back from royal duties for the foreseeable future, admitting that his connection to Epstein had caused a major disruption to the royal family. Then, in 2022, everything reached its breaking point. After Virginia Giuffre filed a civil lawsuit, the Queen stripped Andrew of his royal titles and military honors. Shortly after, he reached a financial settlement with Giuffre for an undisclosed amount. His statement expressed regret for his association with Epstein and praised Giuffre's courage, though notably, he didn't admit guilt.